Konnichiwa and welcome inside Platt Arena as tonight the number 20th ranked Huntington Foresters take on the 7th ranked University of St. Francis Cougars. Hi folks, I am Victor McCarty back here in America to broadcast tonight's game with my friend, my pal, Logan Hunt. First off, Logan, how'd the weeks go without me? And secondly, how do you think tonight's game will go?
Well, first off, we're glad to have you back here on FDN Sports. We managed without you. We had our good friend Eric Benton come back and call some games with myself, and we had a great time, but we're just glad that you're back and, taking over the whole thing again. And secondly, I can't wait for this matchup for St. Francis and Huntington. I think it's going to be a fantastic one. The Foresters are in need of this Crossroads League win. St. Francis sitting at second in the Crossroads League standing, so this is definitely going to be a key matchup for both squads.
It is always a fun matchup to watch, the Cougars against the Lady Foresters. Yes, as you said, Logan, it is great for me to be back here in the States. I was in Japan for 2 weeks. That was a great experience. Never forget that. But one thing I did miss the most, and that's sports. Let me tell you what, I missed some basketball, so it's nice to be here back inside Platt Arena. Looking at team leading scorers, we have Miranda Palmer, of course, at the top for the Foresters at just over 20 points per game. And then we have Akia Taylor with the leading score for the Cougars at 21.6. So I think that's going to be a shootout between the two tonight.
Well, Taylor and Palmer are both 1-2 in the scoring column for the Crossroads League. Taylor is a great rebounder. Also, she's averaging just above 9 rebounds a game. She leads the Crossroads League in rebounding. So this is a possible MVP of the Crossroads League that the Foresters going up against in Akia Taylor. And Miranda Palmer, like you said, is going to have to match that.
Well, looking at the Crossroads League, we have Indiana Westland ranked 6th in the nation at the top at 17-3, 8-0 in this very tough Crossroads League conference. Then, as you mentioned, Logan, number 7th ranked St. Francis right behind them. Then we have 11th ranked Marion. They're having a great year as opposed to others. And then receiving votes, Goshen, and 20th ranked Huntington is sitting right there in the middle at the Crossroads League, right behind Taylor. So, as we can't stress enough, folks, tonight's matchup against the Cougars will be important for the Lady Foresters down the stretch.
Well, we know that St. Francis, like I said, ranked 7th right behind Indiana Wesleyan. They're 6-2. Their 2 losses. One of them comes to Indiana Wesleyan only by 3 points. So St. Francis is definitely something to watch out for. They also lost to Grace by 10, and the Foresters are fresh off a 1-point loss on the road to Grace, and that was just a nail-biting finish where the Foresters let a last-second layup go and couldn't quite steal a victory there from Grace. But like we mentioned before, this cross-league matchup is going to determine how the Foresters rebound from a loss, and really if they can climb their way back up a few spots in this Crossroads League, because, I mean, realistically, they could land anywhere from 2nd to 6th.
The goal is for the Foresters to get back to Sioux City, Iowa, as they did last year. Speaking of some rankings real quick, Logan, the Foresters right now ranked number 1 in the nation at free throw percentage at just over 82%. So if it comes down to free throw percentage tonight, well, the Foresters, they have that in their corner. But the Cougars, watch out, because they are very aggressive off the rebound.
Cougars are very aggressive. They like getting on the defensive glass and really pushing the tempo. They're averaging 80 points a game, only allowing 58 points. So the Foresters are going to have to be able to run with them like they did with Olivet, a few months ago. We know the Foresters are capable of doing it, but now it's going to be executing. Like you said, free throws. Free throws are always key in about every single game, and we know with the Foresters being number 1 in Division II NAI in free throw percentage, shooting just above 82% from the free throw line, is due large in part to Amelia Recker, who leads the NAI in free throw percentage, sitting at 91%. Miranda Palmer is at 89%. She's 6th in the NAI. I mean, that's key, having your 2 leading scorers also being, 2 of the best free throw shooters in the conference and in the nation.
Exactly right, Logan. That is well said. It doesn't matter what day it is. It's how or what you are as a team. It's how you show up on that given night. We've seen that time and time again in the Crossroads League and NAIA and NCAA. I mean, football, whatever sport it is, it's all about how you play on a given day. I know your team, Duke, the head coach, he's coming up on his 1,000th win. So, I mean, again, it's just how you show up on a given day. Well, we've talked about the team a little bit, but now let's get to know these Lady Foresters.
senior, Newcastle High School.
Amelia Recker, junior, Arlington High School.
Miranda White, freshman, Fremont High School.
Gina Eisenhut, sophomore, Bluffton High School.
Kelsey Hubble, junior, Pendleton Heights.
Miranda Palmer, sophomore, Arcadia High School.
Brooke Yoder, freshman, Westview High School.
Jacqueline Bonema, junior, Ileana Christian.
Alexis Rockwell, freshman, Belmont High School.
Allison Trout, sophomore, Huntington North.
Amelia Eschman, senior, Downers Grove North High School.
Lacey Dietrich, sophomore, Faith Christian.
We'll take a break here on FDN Sports. Once again, I am Victor McCarty alongside my partner in crime, Logan Hunt. But once again, we'll take a break for the prayer and national anthem. Stay tuned in. We'll be right back with tonight's action between the Cougars and Lady Foresters.
We ask each of you as a participant, official, or spectator to abide by these values and ask that profanity not be used during tonight's contest. Together, we can create a positive, competitive environment in which our athletes may participate, our officials may work, and you, the spectator, may enjoy. Also, a reminder that tobacco use is not permitted on the Huntington University campus. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you stand, bow your heads, remove your hats, and remain silent as Pastor Josh Kessler leads us in prayer before tonight's contest. And please remain standing after prayer as we honor America with our national anthem. Let's pray. Gracious God, we are grateful that we were all able to arrive here safely. We now pray for the protection of our athletes and our officials and our coaches, that there be no injuries tonight, that a wonderful game will be played, and that all glory and honor will be brought to you. We pray this in the precious name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, who came to earth and died on the cross for our sins. In Jesus' name, amen. And now, starting lineups for tonight's competition. First, the visiting Cougars from the University of St. Francis.
Welcome back to FDN Sports, a part of the Forester Digital Network. Once again, if you're just tuning in, I am one half of your commentators, Victor McCarty, alongside Logan Hunt. Now let's look at the starting lineups for the Lady Cougars. At number 0, junior Akia Taylor. She's starting at forward for the Cougars. Also at forward, number 3, Brooke Ridley. She's a junior. At guard, number 11, Taylor Wilson, sophomore. Forward, number 12, Mallory Hester. She's a junior. And at guard, number 13, lucky number 13, Johanna Chukri. She's from Ukraine. She's a junior for the Cougars.
I say definitely we've seen some breakout stars from St. Francis. Taylor, Ridley, and Wilson. You really have to watch out for those 3.
They will be the 3 to watch. And now, look at Miranda Palmer on the screen. She is your starting guard, number 2, sophomore. And then Kelsey Hubble, number 3 at guard. She's a junior. Number 4, one half of the seniors of this Lady Forester squad. Number 4, Courtney Baker. At center, number 10, Jacqueline Bonema. She's a junior. And forward, number 20, Amelia Recker.
Well, Palmer and Recker seem to always carry the load for the Foresters, but Kelsey Hubble's had a few quiet nights. and I expect her to really come alive after her and Palmer both struggling in the loss against Grace. They both need to have a coming out party here, get themselves back on track, and take on these Cougars.
If I call Wrecker the tank in the trenches, then I have to call Miranda Palmer the sniper from beyond the three. She loves hitting those threes. She has shot 124 of them this year already.
That is an incredible number in itself. As we are about ready to get to tip, Foresters huddling up right before making sure everything's intact to take down the big cats of St. Francis.
I hope I don't have too much ring rust on me, Logan. I just might have some jet lag. Just came back a couple days ago, but great matchup tonight.
Bonema and Taylor going for the tip, and it's won by St. Francis. Albie Wilson with the ball. Gets it on the elbow. Ridley going to work, gets trapped, gets it to Taylor. Taylor goes baseline up for two, not there. Bonema with the board.
A great start for the Foresters thus far. This is the momentum they're going to have throughout the whole game.
Palmer getting the handoff to Hubble. She'll step back for two. Can't get that one. Rebound falls to Bonema. She finds Palmer. She'll float it in, and that drops for the first points of the ball game.
Miranda Palmer trying to draw the foul, but that was a great finish by the sophomore.
St. Francis throwing the ball around. Long three there from Chirkry, and that falls.
As I mentioned, lucky number 13. I think we might see a couple more threes from her tonight.
Hubble trying to drive in on Chukri, but to no avail. She'll hand off to Palmer. Go behind the back. Corner to Hubble. She'll get it to Wrecker. She'll pop the two. That's not there. She gets her own rebound. Goes baseline, reverse layup. That drops for Amelia Wrecker.
Extremely early in the game, but already the Foresters are beating the Cougars at their own game, and that is rebounding the ball. I'm sure Coach Culler emphasized that in practices this past week.
Taylor gets caught, has to get it to Ridley. Ridley going in on Bonema. In the corner to Wilson for three. That's not there. Nice box out from Wrecker. Baker pressing, gets it to Palmer. Palmer going baseline to Bonema. Bonema at the mid-range. That doesn't drop.
Bonema just off to the right for the Lady Foresters. Let's see if the Cougars can try to get something started now.
Taylor goes down low to Ridley. Ridley up for two. Well defended by Wrecker. Air ball caught by Palmer. Baker gets it to Hubble in the corner. Hubble driving left side down to Bonema on the post. Back to Hubble from the free throw line. And that's not going to drop. Wilson bringing it the other way. Gets it up top to Ridley. Down low to Taylor now. Taylor goes up for two. Some contact and gets the bucket to drop. St. Francis take a 5-4 lead.
That was a great finish by Taylor, and that's something the junior is going to have to do throughout the night, is just attacking Bonema.
Hubble with the ball. Finds Wrecker on the free throw stripe. Taylor goes to the ground. Wrecker shoots, and that's not going to fall.
Wrecker breaking Taylor's ankles, but not able to capitalize.
Taylor with the ball, gets it swatted by Baker, and a jump ball is called, and that will favor the Foresters.
Well, I'll tell you something about Courtney Baker, Logan. She is ranked second in the nation in assist to turnover ratio at 3.35%. I look for her throughout the night to use her speed to her advantage, just like she did, and put herself in position to put the Foresters in position to win the game.
Courtney Baker always having active hands. And we'll see Wrecker gonna take a long two over Taylor. It's not there. Long board goes to Chukri. Chukri lobs it to Taylor down low. She goes up with the left hand, and that's good. Baker sprinting the other way. Dish out to Palmer for three. Shots just not falling for the Foresters right now as we see transition from St. Francis. Bounce pass goes down to Taylor and out of bounds. Turnover by St. Francis.
Again, great hustle by the senior Courtney Baker, but something the Foresters have got to be careful of now is, although it's still early in the game, is not catch themselves inside of a hole, because this Cougar squad is not a team you want to be caught inside a hole of.
Man-to-man defense from St. Francis. Hubble picking up a screen from Bonema. She goes the opposite way. Gonna go up top to Palmer. Hester all over her. Palmer trying to break free. She gets down low. 10 seconds on the shot clock. Gets it to Baker for a 2. And that drops for Courtney Baker.
That was a silky smooth shot by Courtney Baker right there. Not too often we see her beyond the arc. Not complete beyond the arc, but usually we see her on the inside.
Hester with the dish to Wilson. Wilson gets it up top to Taylor. Taylor driving in on Bonema, and a foul on the ground. This one will be on Bonema. And now will bring us to our first media timeout with 15:34 remaining. St. Francis on top of the Foresters 7-6.
Well, as I mentioned, Logan, Taylor will be attacking Bonema throughout the night, and I think she just found out why, because when she does, she has won the battle thus far. When you look at the stats, Taylor, she's averaging 9.2 rebounds per the year. That's more than Bonema. Bonema just with 8. And then the same way with scoring, Dora mentioned she's leading the team with 21. And that the reason why is because she's fearless to attack the basket.
Taylor can beat you from anywhere on the floor. She can drive from up top. She can put the ball on the ground, and she has confidence when she does that. And going at the bigger defender, she usually uses her quickness to get to the bucket, but she also has good movement down low. She has great footwork when she gets in the paint and works her angles beautifully, and that's why she's the leading scorer in the Crossroads League.
Well said, Logan. This media timeout was brought to you by our friends at the Huntingtonian, the newspaper affiliate here on HU's campus. You can follow them on Twitter at Huntingtonian. It is worth mentioning, Logan, that Taylor is the tallest player for the Cougars. Oh, excuse me, no. She has one taller than her, Denecker. She's a freshman. But Taylor is sitting at 5'11". So that's due in part to her being fearless of attacking Bonema, and she's at 6'2". So we'll just see how this progresses. This battle progresses throughout the night. I always say the battle is always won in the trenches.
Well, Bonema needs to be careful not to pick up that second foul. She's still in the ball game. It'll be St. Francis inbounding from underneath her own basket. It's going to be Wilson. She gets it to Chukri just in time. Baker all over her, down low to Taylor, and she loses it out of bounds. Turnover for the Cougars.
Well, I think Coach Culler might have told Bonema in that timeout that, hey, hold your ground. Don't be afraid. If she's coming towards you, just hold your ground, and that's exactly what Bonema just did, forcing the turnover.
Smaller lineup now for the Cougars. Bree Reinhardt enters for Taylor. So it'll be interesting to see how they adjust. Recker with the ball. Hester on her. Recker steps back. And the Foresters reset the offense. Courtney Baker with it up top. She'll drive. Kick to Hubble. Hubble drives. Finds Palmer. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Palmer step back 2. That doesn't fall. Bonema with the offensive board, though. She finds Hubble. Hubble with the pump fake up for 2, and that's good. And we have a hurt Cougar on the ground. That's going to be Jana Chukri. And it'll be an injury timeout as the trainers attend to her.
It looks like it might be her knee, and as you can tell, folks, that she has that wrapped up with that sports brace. Hopefully it's nothing too serious.
Well, Chukri has also already contributed to this ball game. She already had a big 3 for St. Francis at the beginning of the ball game. And we hope the best for her.
She's the third leading scorer for the Cougars, averaging 10 points per game.
Well, the substitution for her will be Kaylee Hensley, the 5'7" senior from Wabash, Indiana. And it'll be St. Francis' ball. And Wilson dribbles, gets it down to Ridley. Ridley driving. Dish in the corner to Reinhardt, and that's a 3.
The fans tried to rattle number 14, but she gets it in there, giving the Cougars the lead.
Palmer being aggressive, going up for 2. That's blocked out of bounds. And the Foresters keep possession with 21 on the shot clock. It's going to be Kelsey Hubble inbounding from the baseline. She gets it in to Recker. Recker with the pump fake. Gets it to Baker. Good movement down to Bonema. Hubble with the step back. And that rainbow drops.
One thing I've noticed thus far, Logan, is the Cougars have a great presence within the paint. So that was a smart decision by Hubble, taking the jump back and with the floater too.
Hester getting harassed down low, couldn't quite do anything with it. Cougars now working the ball around. Ridley gets it to Wilson. One more pass to Hester for three. That's no good. Rebound goes to the Cougars. That's Hensley. She goes up with her left hand, way off the mark. Ball on the ground. Bodies go, and now a jump ball, which will favor St. Francis.
It's starting to look like a playground fight out there, Logan, as we will see the other Amelia for the team, Amelia Eschman, come in for Jacqueline Bonema.
Bonema couldn't quite get down on that rebound, but Hensley doing a great job for the Cougars, really hustling for the rebound and the loose ball. Cougars getting the ball in. Ridley with the spin move out to Hester. That's off the mark, and Baker comes up with the board. Still tied at 10. Palmer picking up a screen from Eschman, pulls up for three. Splish splash, Miranda Palmer getting it started for the Foresters.
It may just be the first of many. She has now 125 on the season.
Wilson nearly getting picked away by Palmer. Ridley getting harassed, gets it out to Hensley. And a turnover by the Cougars. Great defense by the Foresters. And we'll see Akaya Taylor entering for Mallory Hester and the Cougars.
I think that's definitely a good decision by head coach Gary Andrews of the Cougars. Get one of your star athletes back into this game so that way when she's sitting on the bench, she doesn't lose her momentum.
Cougars had only had 3 points with Taylor on the bench. It was time for her to come with the Foresters with the 3-point lead, and Palmer behind the back. And a foul called on St. Francis. Oh my goodness, I did not know Miranda Palmer had that in her.
She just keeps surprising me every time we see her out here on the court.
That'll be Kaylee Hensley taking a seat, and in for her will be Emily Montgomery. And Palmer gets the ball. She'll drive baseline and draw the foul again. This one will be on Reinhardt, and that's her second foul. She picked up 2 quick ones just guarding Miranda Palmer, and we'll see Mallory Hester entering the game for her.
Well, that's one thing the Cougars are going to be careful of, is not let themselves get into foul trouble, because as we've mentioned, we'll mention it throughout the game, is that the Foresters are leading the nation in #1 free throw percentage.
There it is, Kelsey Hubble with a 3. And that forces the Cougars and Coach Andrews to take a timeout, with the Foresters gaining a 6-point lead with 12:38 remaining in the first half.
I think right now the Cougars, they're just rattled in their cage right now. It was a great timeout by Gary Andrews to get his team calmed down. But as we've seen time and time again, Miranda Palmer and Kelsey Hubble, I mean, you could almost, if you don't see their number, you could think they're the same person out there on the court, the way they shoot their threes.
They have Palmer and Hubble been 3-point specialists all year long, and they're continuing it in this game. But something else I like, Victor, is the defense that the Foresters have played the past few possessions, forcing turnovers and getting the loose balls. It seems like they've turned up their defense a little bit.
They have definitely turned up their defense thus far, and I think that's why Gary Andrews brought Taylor back in to be an offensive presence.
Taylor with the ball. She'll go in the corner to Hester. Taylor swings it to Wilson. And the Foresters playing a great 2-3 zone right now. Ridley goes up for 2, and that goes over the outreached hand of Eschman and in.
It was great ball movement by the Cougars and a tremendous finish.
Well, that breaks the 10-point drought that they had. Foresters going 10 unanswered until that. And now a foul called on Taylor Wilson. That's going to be the team's 3rd, only her 1st.
Nothing wrong with playing bit aggressive, but being caught too aggressive on that play.
Hubble able to throw it up to Baker. Hubble getting it back, going baseline. Throws this one back to Baker, and the Foresters reset offensively. Ball poked away by Taylor. Baker's able to come up with it. She'll drive. Dish to Hubble. Eschman with it, with position down low, and that's an easy two from Amelia Eschman.
As Baker went inside the paint to draw the defense on her, I could see that play coming from a mile away, and that is what the Foresters have got to do.
And Eschman will pick up the foul, trying to guard Taylor. Foul away from the ball. So it'll be Wilson inbounding from the baseline. And it's stolen away by Baker. Foresters looking to run. Hubble gonna kick it back up to Baker. Palmer with the ball now, back out to Hubble. Hubble tries to force it down to Recker, and that's Taylor coming up with the steal.
Hubble thought about taking the three, but making the mistake of passing it into Recker when being guarded by Taylor.
Pass down low to Ridley. She goes up for two, gets it blocked by Recker, and Recker will get the rebound.
Again, great defense by the Foresters thus far with just about 10 minutes left in the first. Baker
Gonna get to Recker. Recker goes in on Taylor. No call. And the ball goes out of bounds. Foresters will retain possession. I'm not sure what exactly happened in that whole exchange. Looked like Recker maybe got away with the double dribble, and then no charge or foul call there.
It might have been, Logan.
We'll see Palmer with a step back three. That doesn't drop. Rebound goes to the Cougars. Ball stolen away. And a jump ball. Jump ball call. And that will favor the Foresters. It's a nice job there from Palmer and Recker and all the Foresters getting to the ground for that ball.
Well, that's what the Foresters are going to have to do. They're going to have to finish the fight throughout the game. Don't leave any inch for the Cougars.
And now we're getting everything figured out. Weren't quite sure who the ball was going to off the jump ball, but the possession arrow does favor the Foresters, as we suspected.
They definitely heard it from the fans, so it's a good thing the ref's getting that one right.
Hubble with the ball up top. Get it to Baker. Foresters working the ball around the perimeter. Baker out to Palmer. Palmer driving in, dish to Baker. She gives up a nice screen from Eschman. She'll take the free throw, Jay, and that drops for Courtney Baker.
I could catch myself falling asleep on that play. The Foresters moves by Miranda Palmer and Kelsey Hubble just lulling the Cougars to sleep. And through that, Courtney Baker able to get that 2 points.
Taylor loses the ball. Foresters come up with it. Palmer going the other way. She'll drive in, go up for two, and that drops for Miranda Palmer, and another timeout from St. Francis. The Cougars getting a bit rattled, not sure where to go once they entered the Forest.
Well, as we mentioned, Logan, the Big Cats, they just do not know what to do right now, as they are 7th ranked in the nation, and they are down against the 20th ranked Lady Foresters right now.
Foresters up 22-12, 9:47 remaining. Already, St. Francis having to burn 2 quick timeouts to try to stop the runs by the Foresters. And it's been off of Miranda Palmer doing her thing, but also just the defense of the Foresters.
The defense, as you mentioned, Logan, has been tremendous thus far for the Lady Foresters. And they only rank 16th in the nation in total rebound defense. Well, they're not showing that number so far tonight. They're saying, hey, we deserve to be ranked number 1 in the nation in rebound defense, because usually rebounds are their sort of kryptonite, their weakness, but they're allowing no weaknesses thus far tonight.
The Foresters and a must-need a win for the Crossroads A to keep themselves up in that top tier. And so far, They are doing it tonight. They seem to be getting ready to take down these Cougars. They've come out strong, but it's a long ball game. And St. Francis, being as good as they are, ranked 7th for a reason. And Akaya Taylor, I feel like, it's ready to explode.
The Cougars, they might just have a great second half game. Just under 10 minutes left to play in the first, but watch out, Logan, because the Foresters, they are just as much as a second half team as the Cougars.
We see Montgomery driving in. That's a nice layup from her out of the timeout. Foresters coming back the other way. Allison Trout in for the first time from Miranda Palmer out of the timeout. Hubble going to the ground. Baker able to keep a hold of it. 10 seconds now on the shot clock. Baker drives in, pull up 2. That's not there. Ball tipped around and Hubble comes up with the offensive board and the Foresters will reset.
The Foresters are now just clicking, but as we just saw, it was another playground mishap. So I look for this matchup to just get more physical as the night draws on. The Cougars and Foresters, they have a history.
Well, that foul is going to go on Taylor Wilson. That's her second foul. The point guard for St. Francis, averaging nearly 5 assists a game, is going to have to take a seat. And for her will be Bree Reinhardt. Trout getting the pass. She's down low, step through, lefty layup, and that falls.
That reach right there reminded me of Space Jam. Michael Jordan going in for the dunk. Well, that was a great job by Trout getting underneath the basket with that long reach. Oh my gosh, the Foresters right now, they're on a roll.
Taylor with the wraparound on Eshman. Nice spin move to get the easy 2.
Well, speaking of a roll, there goes Taylor. As you mentioned, Logan, she might be starting something for herself.
Trout finds herself with the ball. Up top, she'll get it to Hubble. Hubble with the pump fake. Long 2, and that falls for Kelsey Hubble. Reinhardt bringing it up. Foresters switch back to man-to-man Montgomery left open for 3. Not gonna fall. Ridley with the rebound. She'll get it back out to her. Ball tipped in the air, and Recker comes up with it.
I'm just as shocked as you right now, Logan. With this Lady Forester defense, they are playing aggressive like I have never seen them before.
Only allowing 16 points thus far from St. Francis, a team that usually averages around 75 a game. Baker and Recker with the handoff. Baker driving in. Dish to Eshman for the long 2. And that rolls around and in.
Shake, rattle, and roll. The ball is in the Foresters' court so far tonight.
Eshman added in a whole new dimension to her game with that jumper. Ball tipped and stolen away from Eshman and Recker. It'll be Baker bringing it the other way. Trout with the 3. Not there. She gets her own rebound, gets it swatted by Ridley, and Hubble comes up with it. It is worth mentioning that Ridley leads the Crossroads League in blocks, so nothing uncharacteristic there as we see Hubble driving. Dish to Trout for a long 2, and that one's good from Allison Trout.
Ridley has 33 blocks, whereas Bonema with 22, and now the Cougars will force themselves to take another timeout. That's 3 in the first half. Timeouts will be pivotal down the stretch in this game.
30-16, Foresters taking a 14-point lead over the 7th-ranked Cougars. And like you said, 3 timeouts already taken from St. Francis and Coach Andrews, and he does not look happy and shouldn't be happy with the way that St. Francis is playing offensively. The Foresters have come out switching up their defenses, going from man-to-man to the 2-3 zone, and that is what's forcing all these turnovers. They're able to double-team Akaya Taylor when she gets the ball down low, and St. Francis doesn't have any other answers.
Well, I don't know what the Foresters put in their water tonight, Logan, but they're playing like they're ranked 20th in the nation, but number 1 in the nation, and that's how I have to show up every night. And as we mentioned in the pregame, Logan, it's not who you are as a team in the past games, it's about how you show up on any given night, and the Foresters, they've definitely come out to play tonight.
Well, we see Courtney Baker taking a seat. Palmer will be in for her off the timeout. And now we have a foul call. This one will be on Trout. saying she knocked Taylor down, so that's going to be Trout's first foul. Inbound from the baseline. Taylor with the ball. Now it'll be Ridley coming up with this. She gets it to Jackson. Up top now to Reinhardt. Hester with a three. She's left open, and she makes the Foresters pay.
Well, one thing I've noticed that Foresters are doing a great job of it is trapping, but with Taylor in the game, she's able to control where her defender goes, and it was a great job getting her girl open for the three.
Eshman finds Hubble. Hubble to Recker. Trout with the ball, 10 seconds on the shot clock. Hubble gets a screen, goes left side, down low. Recker comes up with it. She goes up, can't get that one to fall, and shot clock violation as Recker slow to get up.
Well, as we've seen before, Logan, timeouts, when they are called at any given time, can change the momentum of a game. So we'll see if the Cougars take the momentum to their advantage right now, down 19-30.
Jackson gets it to Hester. Eshman guarding Taylor. Taylor drive in the corner to Jackson for three. That's off the mark. Eshman with the rebound. Gets it to Trout. Trout getting it to Palmer. Palmer goes up, gets it blocked by Reinhardt, and then hits it out of bounds. And we'll see Bonema check in for Amelia Eshman. And Eshman getting a well-deserved applause.
Well, I think right now both coaches, Andrews and Culler, are doing a great job of controlling when their players go in and out of the game. A good call by Culler, getting Bonema back in there and giving Eshman a well-deserved rest.
Forster's also going back to a man-to-man defense. We see Hester drive in, misses the layup, rebound is Hubble. Hubble pushing, bounce pass to Palmer. Palmer up for two, and that's good.
And that's one of the things that the Foresters are going to have to use is their speed as an advantage, and they're doing a great job of that right now.
13-point advantage. We see Palmer hitting the ball out of bounds. Nice hands there from Miranda Palmer. Reinhardt inbounding from the sideline. She gets it to Ridley, and Jackson gets it.
A lot of contact on the inbounds. The refs letting them play tonight, and I always love the refs letting them play. The matchup just gets more physical, and it gets much more personal in the fight.
Back to the 2-3 zone from the Foresters. We see Taylor taking the shot. Air ball there, and a shot clock violation. I'm not even sure that Taylor got that shot off.
I would not believe so, Logan. And once again, the Foresters force another turnover by the Cougars. It's just an uncanny defense we've seen out of the Lady Foresters so far tonight.
I couldn't agree more as we see Baker entering for Hubble. She'll take over the point guard duties. Recker gets the ball on the elbow. She'll find Palmer. Palmer thought about shooting. It's going to hand off to Trout. Trout going right side. And to Palmer in the lane. It's swatted away by Ridley. And Reinhardt gets it up. Wild pass to Jackson. Back to Reinhardt. She'll pull up for two. That's no good. And Baker with the board. She's looking to push it. Bounce pass to Recker. Recker gets caught. And miscommunication between Bonema and Palmer forced the turnover for St. Francis.
The Foresters are definitely going to have a bit more chatter on the court. That miscommunication cannot continue if they want to maintain their lead.
Ridley with the miss, Bonema with the board, and a foul call on Ridley. That'll be the team's fifth and Ridley's first.
Not a position that the Cougars want to be in right now. As we've mentioned, the Foresters a great free throw percentage with 3 minutes left to play in the first. Coach Gary Andrews not liking that foul call.
Palmer step back two. That falls from Miranda Palmer, foot just on the line.
when a team clicks, they just click, and there is nothing you can do about it. So I commend Coach Culler getting her squad ready for tonight's matchup throughout this past week.
Jackson getting caught with it. Almost a 5-second call. Taylor throws it away. Trout got it, threw it back to Ridley, and she'll get an easy 2.
Again, miscommunication. Allison Trout just being a little too quick on that release.
Baker dribbling around, going in on Jackson. She'll get it to Palmer. Palmer to Recker. Recker steps back for 2. That's not there. Bonema with the offensive board. She's getting trapped. She'll get it to Trout for 3. That's good from Allison Trout.
I am shocked that ball went in as the Forester fans get on their feet here inside Platte Arena. I thought Mallory Hester got her hand on it. So again, just shocked that ball went in. And when the Foresters are clicking, they are clicking. The Forest is on fire right now.
Palmer getting the steal from Hester. Palmer going the other way, coast to coast, and throws it away from Ridley getting in there on Recker. 1:30 remains. Foresters with a 16-point lead. Reinhardt with, she'll find Taylor. Down to Ridley. Ridley up for 2, and that's good.
I'm surprised there wasn't a foul call on Palmer as she came right down on Jackson trying to get the ball away.
Recker, hand off to Palmer. Palmer dribbling back, goes up for 2. Can't quite get the roll on that one. Ridley with the board. 1 minute remains. Reinhardt with it, looking to go down to Taylor. Bonema defending it well. Hester drive in, back to Reinhardt. 10 on the shot clock. Jackson with it. She'll drive, dish to Ridley. Ridley with a layup, and that's going to go for her.
It was a great job by the Cougars drawing Bonema outside of the paint, and Cougars just able to get in there for the 2, getting some points on the board before we hit the half.
About a 7-second differential between the shot clock and the game clock. Foresters looking content to hold it for the end of the shot clocks. We hit 10. Palmer taking a 3, and that's good for Miranda Palmer. She has a pair of 3s already. 10 seconds. Jackson getting it up. Get a screen from Taylor. Back to Ridley. 3, 2. Jackson with the open 3. And that falls. And that's how we will go into halftime off of an open 3 from Jackson and St. Francis. But your Foresters lead 40-28.
40-28, a 12-point lead here inside Platte Arena. Who would have thunk that would be the score right now tonight, as the St. Francis ranked 7th in the nation, 20th for the Foresters. We might just have an upset alert here inside Platte Arena tonight.
It would be great seeing an upset alert. I know we all were thinking this would be a great game for the Foresters to get themselves back on the winning track, taking a tough loss to Grace. And what would be better than winning at home against the 7th-ranked Cougars?
It is a must-win almost for the Lady Foresters. We are FDN Sports here on the Forester Digital Network. I'm Victor McCarty alongside Logan Hunt. We'll be right back with your halftime stats and updates after a commercial break.
First 3 numbers, 600989. 600968. 968. And final 3 digits, 937. We have 968 and 937.
Plans don't always go the way we want them to, but you're not alone in this adventure called life. Remedy Live is a non-for-profit web station that strives to produce a positive message while helping teens who need it. If we can help you, text the word REMEDY to 313131 or visit our website at remedylive.com to chat with someone there. Remedy Live. We chat, we listen, we love.
So Fusion Media is kind of this idea to bring broadcasting and film production together. Just doing media, but maybe not in the news field or in the radio field as broadcasting was.
With Fusion Media, you're not stuck in this cookie cutter route to become a news anchor or a radio DJ. There's so much more you can do with it.
Fusion Media is a way to take those everyday experiences and bring them to the students now, in the moment.
I would say there's so many opportunities for you guys to make an instant impact. We have HTV, we have live stream, we have Fuse FM. Like, we're ready for you right now.
It's so exciting as a freshman to be able to come in and right away be doing hands-on things like being a part of HTV and the radio station. And for a freshman coming in, that's so exciting to be able to do those things.
It's just really new. It's the newest idea that's been out. So no other school is going to offer a broadcast fusion media degree. We're the only one that does that. When you come to HU, you're able to really open your field and to be not just a reporter or not just a videographer, but to become someone who's multi-talented. So you can be on air, you can run a camera, you're kind of a one-man band sort of thing. You're really just given the chance to kind of run with ideas and to make stories and to create them interesting from the ground up. And that's a cool opportunity that you're not allowed to do anywhere else.
The Global Initiatives degree that we're offering is seeking to equip folks who are interested in applying a ministry education to cross-cultural work. So somebody who's looking to do holistic ministry, somebody who's looking to engage in the business for transformation or business as missions model would find some equipping through our Global Initiatives degree.
Our Global Youth Ministries degree is designed to prepare people for leadership in youth ministry, quite simply anywhere in the globe. It's for men and women who are already in youth ministry or for people who are simply preparing to lead youth ministry.
One of the things I like about the pastoral leadership track is that Luke and Karen, who worked on developing it, consulted with church leaders so that people preparing for ministry leadership in the church would have the skills and the knowledge that they need.
Some of what I'd want our program to be known for is is being really clear-minded about linking our own program vision with the Lord's vision for His people and for the kingdom. What we want to do is be faithful to that which He's called us to. And some of that would be that we believe that the Church of Jesus Christ is going to be well served when it's populated and led by people who have stories of being reached by Christ and are now being well formed to follow Him no matter what the cost.
And we're back here inside Blatt Arena. I am Victor McCarty alongside Logan Hunt here on FDN Sports, part of the Forester Digital Network, where the Lady Foresters, 20th ranked in the nation, lead the 7th ranked in the nation Lady Cougars 40-28 at the half. A shock to all of us here inside Blatt Arena.
I would say it definitely is a shock, not that the Foresters are winning, but the amount that they're winning by 12 points. They've completely dominated this first half of play. And it comes all on the shoulders of Miranda Palmer, who so far has 14 points already, leading all scores, and really has been doing a fantastic job offensively and defensively. The Foresters have really been getting at it.
Great defensive stops for the Lady Foresters. And now let's look at halftime stats. As we mentioned, Lady Foresters have a 12-point lead, and field goal percentage, looking at pretty much all of the stats, dead even right now. 50% off of both sides, and then no free throws thus far in the game, which I'd say is good for the Cougars, but bad for the Foresters, as they are number one in the nation. Three percentage at 57-50, 18 rebounds, and that's another thing. Lady Foresters out rebounding the Cougars, which they are highly ranked in the nation at rebounding percentage, and then steals in the favor of the Foresters, and turnovers, 10 turnovers by the Cougars. A very uncharacteristic performance thus far by the Lady Cougars.
Well, speaking of three-point shooting, both teams hitting 4 threes apiece in the first half, pretty equal there. But rebounding-wise, Akaya Taylor, who usually gets 9 rebounds a game, only had 1 in the first half. She was held to 6 points when she's averaging around 21. Akaya Taylor really got put in check that first half by that 2-3 zone by the Foresters, and Jacqueline Bond job on her, and she's been getting double-teamed almost every single time. And then just the turnovers. I mean, the Foresters just been forcing those turnovers off of steals and just doing what the Foresters do best, and that's just play hard and get on the ground for all the loose balls.
We see the Lady Foresters come back out to warm up for the second half, and as you mentioned, Logan, Jacqueline Bonema, right now she is the leading rebounder for the game at 5 rebounds, and she averages 8 rebounds a year as opposed to Taylor's 9. So as you said, Logan, it's almost a role reversal that Bonema is holding her ground against the 5'11 Taylor.
Well, we also talked about Courtney Baker having a great assist to turnover ratio, ranking second in the Crossroads League at 3-1, and she already has 3 assists, no turnovers thus far from Courtney Baker. She already has herself a steal, and it seems like her mid-range was coming on there late. We saw her hit a few free throw jumpers, and Courtney Baker, even though she doesn't do the majority of the scoring for the Foresters, she dictates the offense.
She does indeed, Logan. As you mentioned, she is ranked number 2 in the nation in assist or turnover ratio. It almost seems like every time I look over, Baker has the ball in her hands, whether it be on the offensive side of the ball or her trying to wrestle it away from the Cougars on the defensive side of the ball. And she has been a great presence thus far for the Foresters because she causes the defensive misdirection of the Cougars. I've seen it a few times now where the Cougars, they just leave a lane wide open for either Recker or Palmer or Hubble or even Bonema, as well as the other Amelia, to get inside and get that easy layup.
I think something that we need to mention also is that Amelia Eschman already 4 points coming off the bench. She's been a defensive presence all year long, but right after Christmas break, it seems like Amelia Eschman has added this whole new dynamic to her offense. I mean, she is fearless when it comes to scoring. She's ready to make a post move. We saw her making a post move down low and score, and we saw her hit, an 18-foot mid-range jumper. She can score from about anywhere. She has the confidence to do it, and that's really helped the Foresters, adding her out there. And you don't lose much when you pull Bonema and Eschman. When you move them around, you don't lose too much.
Well, I think there's 2 things to it, Logan. As you mentioned, a boost in confidence, but also the second thing, with her being only one of 2 seniors on this Lady Forester squad, she's starting to realize, hey, my time is running up here to play in Platte Arena. Conference, that's just around the corner. And then if they go back to Sioux City, that's also right around the corner. So she's starting to finally realize, hey, I need to step my game up, and she has indeed done that tonight. With me being gone the past 2 weeks, I hadn't really seen how she is transformed her play style, but tonight I have just been shocked by her in a very good way. Just an overall great defensive performance by the Foresters thus far, but I look for the Cougars to come back out here in the second half and give it all they got, and we know after last year going undefeated, they have a lot to put into it.
St. Francis definitely isn't out of it yet. They're 7th ranked for a reason, only lost 2 conference games, and the Foresters have their work cut out for them by holding this 12-point lead. And if the Foresters can get this win here tonight, that would definitely help once they turn the table and we start kind of the second wave of conference play. The Foresters then will get Marion on the road next, and we start that whole second wave of then transferring squads, and it's going to be interesting to see if the Foresters can get some momentum leading into the second half of Crossroads League play.
This will be an important win tonight for the Lady Foresters. As you mentioned, as we start playing the second half with the Cougars having the ball, Marion, that was a tremendous game here inside Platte Arena, and I look for it to be another tremendous game as the Lady Foresters go to visit Marion.
We're going to start out with Ridley getting a shot up and in from down low. Great collapse there by the defense, but tonight better shot from Ridley. It'll be St. Francis sticking with their man-to-man defense. Palmer trying to break free, running circles with Recker and Bonema. Finally gets the ball. Wilson all over her. Hubble gets the ball on the opposite side. Picks up a screen from Bonema. Bonema flips it back to Hubble. Hubble drives in for 2 and is fouled.
Palmer playing ring around the rosy, and then Hubble being able to draw the foul out of number 14, Reinhardt. So that's one thing, again, the Cougars are going to have to watch, is getting into foul trouble as this game progresses.
That last foul was on Hester. That's only her first. Saw only 5 team fouls against St. Francis in the first half. Already one early. We see Hubble starting out with a 3. That's not there. Ridley with the board.
A high arch by Hubble as they hustle back to defense.
Forster's switching back to this 2-3 zone. And Hester left open for 3 and missed that one badly. Baker coming the other way for the Foresters.
The Cougars are just going to have to find some sort of rhythm, just like the Foresters found their own rhythm in the first half.
Bonema can't get that one to fall. Ridley getting the rebound, and Reinhardt coming the other way. She finds a lane. She'll dish back out to Ridley. Ridley thought about shooting. And St. Francis now moving the ball around. Taylor with it. She goes cross court to Reinhardt. Hester left open for 3 again. And another miss. Bonema with the board. She gets it quickly to Baker. Baker goes in, loses the ball. Palmer comes up with it in the corner. And a foul going through the screen. Bonema going to the ground. This one will be on Wilson. I believe that's her 3rd foul.
Well, it was an aggressive matchup in the first, some playground brawl going on, and I just expected it to be even more tense here in the second as we hear both coaches yelling at their players to get into position.
Baker will get the inbound. She gets it to Bonema on the elbow. Handoff to Hubble going right side to Palmer in the corner for 3. Couldn't quite get that one to drop. Long board goes to Reinhardt. Hester with it, gets it down to Taylor, and a foul called on Bonema. And that will be Bonema's 2nd foul.
Her 2nd, the team's 1st in this second half, and Coach Collar will call her first timeout of the game.
40-30, Forster still with the lead, 17:40 remaining, and St. Francis has come out with a bit more pep in their step. They haven't closed the gap too much, only by 2 points, but the Foresters just offensively look, they look very just slow and
well, that's
sluggish.
what I was about to say myself, Logan, is that where the Cougars may have gained some pep, the Foresters just as equally lost some pep on the defensive side of the ball. I could see that they were just being a little bit lazy, and they got lucky as the Cougars would miss their shot. And we hear the fans behind us, they're saying, raise your intensity level, and that's exactly what they have to do, just stay on par with what they did in the first half.
Ridley going in for 2. It's not there. Ball hit out to Hester, and Reinhardt now will get it. Forster is going back to their zones. We see Ridley getting it poked away by Palmer. She stays in bounds, comes up with the steal.
Palmer walking the tightrope, keeping the ball in play. And Hubble now
throwing it back. We'll see Baker resetting this offense for the Foresters. 15 on the shot clock. Hubble going right side, step back 2, and that drops for Kelsey Hubble.
That high arching shot just seems to work for Hubble no matter where she is out on the court.
She gets the first points on the board for the Foresters, and Palmer stripping the ball away from Wilson again, and Wilson kicking it out of bounds.
Do you think they may have heard us in their huddle, Logan? Because I think they might have gotten their pep back on the defensive side.
Palmer coming up with 2, or with one steal and a strip already, and she's definitely picked up the intensity defensively. Palmer driving in left side up for 2, and she's fouled from behind. We'll see our first free throws of the game now.
And none other better for the Foresters to go to the line than other Miranda Palmer, shooting 88% on the year.
That foul will be on St. Francis. That one is going to be on Akaya Taylor. That's her first. And Palmer able to drill the first free throw. We'll also see Hester exit. And for her comes Paige Frisch, the 5'7" sophomore guard from Norwell, Indiana, right down the road from here, Huntington. Palmer hitting the other free throw, making it look routine.
I have to say, Logan, what's great seeing out of Miranda Palmer is her physicalness, and what's even better is that she's only a sophomore. So when you have a sophomore that is this physical and this alert during a game, I mean, that's great to come in the future years.
Baker coming up with the steal. Losing the ball out of bounds, though. Couldn't quite handle that.
Her other teammates were just too quick to move on to the other side. You got to make sure you have possession before you head on out.
Reinhardt getting the inbound. Picks up the screen from Ridley. Now Wilson will try her luck from 3, and it's false.
The Foresters pay for their mistake. It's just like in a time of war. You can't leave your camp without your bullets.
Palmer picking up a screen from Bonema. She gets it to Hubble. Hubble going right side. Nearly losing it from Wilson. Palmer drawing a double team. Gets herself caught in the corner, and a timeout called by Coach Kohler just in the nick of time.
A smart timeout by Coach Kohler with 15:48 left here in the second, and I do believe this will take the place of the media timeout here in the second half. But that's one thing the Lady Foresters that we just mentioned have to work on, and that's communication amongst themselves. You cannot let a player, let alone one of your star players, to get trapped by the opposition.
Something else to mention is that the shot clock was at 5 when they came to that timeout. And I think the refs are going to talk about resetting it to 16. Should be the halfway point there. So if not, the Foresters will only have 5 seconds on the shot clock.
Like to mention our friends in the Forester Digital Network, our affiliate of the news, FDN News. You can follow them on Twitter at FDN News. With the new semester starting up next week, I'm sure they'll have plenty of stories to come.
On the floor for the Foresters, it's Baker, Hubble, Bonema, Recker, and Palmer, the original starting 5. It'll be Reinhardt, Wilson, Taylor, Frisch, and Ridley on the floor for St. Francis. And the Foresters, only 5 seconds on the shot clock. Baker inbounds to Bonema. 2 seconds, Baker got to get a shot off, and they cannot. Shot clock violation out of the timeout from the Foresters.
I'm really surprised it wasn't a quick catch and release. I mean, you just inbound it to either Palmer or Hubble, and they have more than enough know-how to get that ball inside the basket with 5 seconds left. So I think that was just a poor judgment by the Foresters.
Foresters going with a 1-3-1 defense now. It'll be Reinhardt with it, trying to look for Taylor. Taylor gets it, draws a triple team, and is fouled with the ball nearly going in to the hoop.
That would have been a trick shot if I ever saw one, Logan. It was a good job trapping Taylor on the inside by the Foresters, but when Taylor's arm came up, the Foresters did indeed smack it, and that is a foul.
That foul's on Palmer. That's only her first. Ridley spin move in the lane, goes up and is fouled. Beautiful spin move from Ridley to draw the contact. And this foul will be on Kelsey Hubble. That's going to be Hubble's first foul and also the team's third. Ridley able to drill the first one. Not the best free throw shooter, only a 61% free throw shooter on the year. And she's able to hit both of these, though.
No free throws in the first half, but both teams go to the line in the second, and thus far, both perfect.
9-point ball game now. As we near 15 minutes to go. Palmer with the ball off the handoff. Gets it to Hubble. Hubble picks up a screen, gets in the lane. Out to Baker for 2. And that rolls around and in.
Once again, the Cougars leave a hole inside the paint, trying to mend their mistake. They swarm Hubble, but she's able to get it out to Baker, and that ball goes around the world. I hope it had its passport.
Maybe it passed through Japan on its way. We'll see Reinhardt getting it off of the kick from Palmer. Back to man from the Foresters. Reinhardt with it up top, getting it to Ridley. Taylor and Bonema battling for position down low, and Bonema will pick up the foul.
As I mentioned, Logan's things getting a bit chippy.
That's going to be Bonema's third foul
against these two squads, and Bonema has to be careful, and we'll see Eschman come back in for her.
Ridley with it. Looked like she may have gotten away with a travel. But ball going down to Taylor. She goes up against Bonema. It's blocked. And Hubble comes up with it. She throws it up to Recker. Recker pulling it back out and finding Baker.
Baker looking to just reset. Cougars getting away with a travel on the opposite side of the ball, but maintain their posture, and Bonema blocking the shot.
Baker losing it. St. Francis coming up with it. Ridley coming the other way. And it's tipped out by Palmer. That saves the fast break layup from St. Francis.
Great hustle by Palmer, and as I mentioned, Eschman will come in for Bonema. She's sitting with 3 fouls and getting a well-deserved rest right now with 13:54 left to play.
Frisch gets the inbound. She'll looking down low to Taylor, and a foul on Eschman. And it looked like Taylor was just running into her. I'm not quite sure how it's a foul on Eschman, but nonetheless, that will be her second foul.
I would have to agree with you, Logan. Eschman just having her hands up, and Taylor trying to draw the foul off of Eschman, and she does do that.
Recker comes up with the steal off the inbound. And Baker bringing it up, finds Palmer. Palmer picking up the screen. Gets it back to Baker. Cross court to Recker. She'll pop for 2. Not her day so far. Couldn't get that one to fall. Wilson bringing it up. Gets to Frisch. Frisch leading the team in 3-point shots. Hasn't taken one yet. Reinhardt will try it though. That's no good. And Frisch hitting it back into Ridley, who will get an easy. She missed the easy layup. And Recker gets the board.
Well, the refs definitely letting them play tonight here inside Platt Arena. I thought that was a blatant push where Baker just heading to the ground. But as I mentioned in the first, and I will stick to it, I love the refs just letting them play.
Hubble gonna get it to Baker. Baker with the 2, and that one doesn't fall. Ridley with the board.
Both teams with a drought on the scoreboard right now, as the Cougars look to lessen the lead by the Foresters.
Eschman battling with Taylor down low. Reinhardt with it, gets it out to Frisch. She'll take a 3, and that falls for her. Eight-point ball game with nearly 12 minutes to go. Crowd trying to get behind these Lady Foresters. And Taylor coming up with the steal off the lazy path. She'll drive in, go up for 2, and get that one.
I wouldn't be surprised if Coach Collar calls a timeout here soon, nearing 11 minutes.
Baker going backdoor to Hubble. Hubble picks up her dribble, gets it to Baker. She'll pop the 3. And not going to fall for her. Wilson getting the board.
The Foresters are not being there for the rebound like they were in the first, and that's something that has got to change if they want to maintain their lead. The lead down to just 6 now.
Ridley getting it blocked from behind by Recker, and then a late whistle. They're going to call Miranda Palmer with the foul. I'm not sure I agree with that one, as Palmer looked like initially had the steal, and then Ridley came up with it and then went up, thinking the foul would be on Recker.
I would have to agree with you, and I think the refs at this point in time, if they're going to call the foul, they have got to get it right, because if you call the foul on, say, the star player, then that will definitely be an issue down the road, especially when they didn't commit the foul.
Well, there's 11:30 remaining. Foresters already with 6 fouls. That means the next foul, St. Francis will be in the bonus and shooting free throws the rest of the game. And St. Francis only with 3 team fouls, so Forster still have some work to go until they get into the bonus. But St. Francis has really cut into this lead. Have it down to 6 with a chance to get it to 4. It'll put Ridley to the line for her second try at the free throw arc. She hit her first 2 and looking to stay perfect.
Thus far is a tale of 2 halves by both squads.
And Ridley drilling the first free throw. And she's able to hit the second. 4-point advantage for the Foresters.
What I think it comes down to once again, Logan, is that the Foresters just need to recollect themselves and have the composure, their tenacity that they had in the first half.
Palmer going down low. Eschman and Recker not quite communicating. 5 seconds on the shot clock. Palmer with the ball. Crossover on Wilson. She'll drive in for 2. Not there. Hester with the board. Wilson bringing it the other way. She'll get it to Frisch. Frisch cross court to Hester and to Montgomery. Montgomery throws it out to Wilson. Wilson in the corner to Frisch. Up to Hester. Hester driving in. Ball on the ground, and a jump ball will give the ball back to the Foresters.
Well, 2 things the Cougars are doing a great job of right now is that they are holding their ground on the defensive side of the ball and forcing the Foresters to use up all of the shot clock. And then the second thing they're doing a great job of is moving the ball around when they have it on offensive possession. It was just a mishap by number 12 right there, Hester, losing control of the ball behind her back.
Palmer gonna find Hubble. Hubble drive in, dish down to Eschman, stolen away by Jackson, who just came in for Ridley. Allison Trout also coming in for Baker, as the Foresters will reset on defense along with St. Francis offensively. Wilson driving in on Palmer, and it's blocked out of bounds. St. Francis will keep possession. And now Taylor getting back into the ballgame for Montgomery.
I think that's a wise decision by head coach Gary Andrews, getting Taylor back in the game, because when she is in the game for the Cougars, and that is in and out, but Taylor gets the rebound. Eschman with a great defensive presence, and the ball taking a few bounces off the rim, but Taylor able to get the finish, and just like that, the Cougars are only down by 2. Logan, what do the Foresters have to do right now?
Foresters need an answer, and I think the answer needs to come from Miranda Palmer. She finds herself with the ball. She'll pop the 2, and that drops right on cue.
And again, I'm amazed by the ball hitting inside the net there, because I do believe that number 33, Paige Frisch, had a piece of the ball.
Frisch driving in, up for 2. Eschman with the board, and now a foul call on Wilson, I believe, with Palmer bringing it the other way, and maybe Hubble got away with a foul going up on that layup on Frisch.
Well, I will have to say one thing right now about this game, Logan, is that if the refs are gonna call fouls, is that I want it to be an even game. That should have been a foul called on the Foresters, but then the Cougars getting called on a foul instead. So it's just, I would rather see, if a foul's gonna be called, I'd rather see it be a fair call.
We see Hubble popping the 3, and that drops for Kelsey Hubble.
Again, a long rainbow arch by Kelsey Hubble. I love her shot technique.
Foresters moving back to their 2-3 zone here, as they come back to their man. Jackson driving in, and she is fouled on the way up. That foul will be on Allison Trout. So that will send Jackson to the line to shoot 2, and that is the team's 7th.
That could have indeed been a call that they should have called before.
Jackson hitting her first free throw. St. Francis staying perfect from the line, as we see Ridley enter for Reinhardt. It'll be interesting to see when Jacqueline Bonema will come back into this ballgame for the Foresters with Taylor and Ridley both in. Jackson able to convert on the second. 5-point ball game, just under 9 minutes to go. Palmer, handoff to Hubble. Hubble gets it to Trout. Trout step back, long two. That's not there, and Hubble with the offensive board and a foul called.
I can see Trout's shot just aiming to the right, but again, a great aggressive presence by Hubble, getting that rebound and forcing a foul.
That foul goes on Hester. That's her second. Eshman gets the inbound. She'll get it right back to Trout. Trout dribbling around, handoff to Recker. Got 4 ladies out on the perimeter. Eshman isolated down low, but they opt to go to Palmer. Palmer spinning on a Hester, and that's an easy call there from the referee. It's going to be a hand check call on Hester. Put the arm bar on her, and you can't do that.
No, you cannot, and I think the Foresters right now just need to continue moving the ball around, being patient, and lulling the Cougars to sleep.
Eshman gets the inbound. She'll get it to Trout. Trout drives in left side, goes up for 2. Can't get that to fall. Eshman tracking down the offensive board, and Trout couldn't quite handle the pass. Turnover there from the Foresters. Jackson gonna bring the ball up for St. Francis.
8 minutes left to play. We'll be coming up on a media timeout soon enough. But the Cougars, I'm sure they want to take advantage of every second to reach closer as we see number 33, Paige Frisch, hitting a 3 for the Cougars. That will definitely aid the comeback for the Cougars.
Frisch has hit 23 threes on the season. We see Hubble trying to answer, and she does! Splish, splash, Kelsey Hubble.
We might be seeing a game of anything you can do, I can do better. Kelsey Hubble rising to the occasion.
Frisch was able to break that 2-3 zone, though, from the Foresters, forcing them to go back to man. Ridley getting the ball on the post, and have to get it back after drawing the double team. Palmer coming up with the steal. She's gonna go up for 2. Can't get that to fall. Offensive board from Eshman. The putback doesn't go, and Palmer tracks down the loose ball.
A crazy chain of events with Palmer missing the layup, and now Hubble with another 3 from downtown. And we will see head coach of the Cougars, Gary Andrews, calling another timeout, and it'll be a full timeout. Right now, the Foresters are lighting the Forest up.
Well, I know Kelsey Hubble's career high in 3-pointers. I believe it's 7 3-pointers, and she has to be nearing that mark. We've seen 3 of them come here lately, and the Foresters owning an 8-point advantage, just under 7 minutes to go. And what, like you said, Victor, a chain of events for the Foresters. Kelsey Hubble coming alive out of nowhere to get these threes, and also the Foresters have been playing fantastic defense with steals from Eshman and Palmer and just stopping the attack down low of Taylor and Ridley.
Hubble right now is 4 of 5 from 3-point range, and as you mentioned, her record is 7, so we'll see if she nears that with 6:57 left to play. And then Miranda Palmer right now, she has 18 points, and Hubble has 20. So that we are in, buckle up, Logan, we are in for a crazy ride right now. And on the Cougars side of the ball, Ridley, she leads scoring at 14 points. So that's unusual not to see Taylor as the leading scorer, but she definitely has to have a good last 7 minutes.
Well, we haven't seen much from Amelia Recker so far tonight, as she's been held pretty much in check, only going 1 for 7 and 2 points, but Kelsey Hubble picking up that slack with 20 points.
But Recker does have 5 rebounds, and that has aided the Foresters very well.
We see Frisch with the ball, gets it out to Taylor. Taylor trying to drive on Bonema, gets it poked away from Hubble. Palmer comes up with it. It's a 2-on-1. Palmer goes to Hubble, and it's kicked by Taylor out of bounds. And so the Foresters will keep possession of this one.
Right now, the Foresters are reminding me of the Golden State Warriors as they're able to just get into the paint as well as hit those threes. I mean, a tremendous job thus far, as well as on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, that 2-3, the man-to-man, I mean, it's just so reminiscent of them.
Hubble throws this one away. St. Francis coming up with the steal. Jackson's coming with it. She finds Ridley. Hester looking for Taylor down low. Instead goes up top to Frisch. She'll get it down to Taylor. One more pass in the corner to Jackson for three. That's no good. Rebound goes to Taylor. Taylor cross court to Hester. Now to Frisch for three. That's no good. Her first miss. Recker comes up with it, gets it to Palmer. Palmer looking to push it. And now she'll pull it back out and take instruction from Coach Kohler.
Cougars realizing their mistake in clogging the paint as they should have done.
Hubble may have gone away with the travel there. She'll throw it back to Trout for two. It's all way off the mark. Bonema with the board. Didn't hit the rim. Oh, they're going to say that it does. And so the shot clock will reset. And now the refs will stop to discuss if that ball hit the rim or not. If it didn't, I believe there should be about 5 seconds on the shot clock. From my perspective, it didn't look like it did hit the rim. I thought it went right over it.
I thought it hit the rim, Logan, as the trajectory of the ball did change, and that's something that has to come into factor. Now, I would agree that it didn't hit the rim if it hit the backboard just a little bit higher, but in the way the ball fell, I have to say it hit the rim.
It'll be interesting to see what the refs call here, if they stick with what they've got, or if they try to go back and see where the time would be. Like I said, only a few seconds went off the clock from when Bonema got that rebound. And so if anything, it might come back just a few seconds. And now they're going to have a coaches conference. And so I believe they're going to see if this hit the rim or not. And it looks like they're going to go to the monitor to check if it hit the rim or not. And this will pretty much be almost like a timeout here as we try to queue up to see if this hit the rim or not. This will be definitely a crucial call here, because if this doesn't hit the rim, there's about 5 seconds on the shot clock, and with it only being an 8-point ball game with 5:27 remaining, this is definitely a crucial possession for the Foresters and St. Francis. But like we said so far tonight, Miranda Palmer and Kelsey Hubble having a fantastic night so far. 20 points for Hubble, 18 for Palmer. And like I said, Amelia Recker not necessarily having the best scoring night, averaging 18 points a game. Has come up big with the rebounds, already has 6 tonight. Her, Bonema, and Eshman have doing a great job keeping Taylor and Ridley nearly in check. Like I said, Akaya Taylor averaging 21 points per contest, leading the Crossroads League in points, and also averaging nearly 10 rebounds a game, leading Crossroads in rebounds. And Taylor really has been a non-factor tonight. She's been drawing double teams, and Coach Kohler definitely has called up a great game plan to keep Akaya Taylor out of this ball game and to keep the 7th-ranked Cougars on the ropes, as the Foresters have an 8-point advantage late in this contest. And it'll be interesting to see if the Foresters come out of all this timeout and check to see if the ball did hit the rim or not, to see if they switch back to their 2-3 zone or stay with their man-to-man. The Foresters have been doing a fantastic job so far tonight. So the referee's going to take a second look here at the monitor to make sure that ball didn't hit the rim. And I believe they're going to say that the refs are going to say that the ball did not hit the rim. And so they're going to reset the shot clock to only a few seconds as the refs are giving explanations to both coaches now. And they're going to try to make sure that the clock is right. They're putting 2 seconds on the shot clock with 5:27 remaining. 5:27 remains, 2 seconds on the shot clock. Foresters with a 57-49 advantage. And Kelsey Hubble now will have to inbound from her sideline. We saw Foresters with 5 seconds on the shot clock out of a timeout, and they got a shot clock violation. So Forster's gonna have to be aware of the shot clock being at 2 seconds. This is a quick catch and shoot, maybe one dribble.
Well, hopefully it's a quick shoot and release here, possibly by Palmer.
That shot's way off the mark. And it will be a shot clock violation again. Palmer knowing she probably had another second there if she needed it.
Well, we had to put our replay tools to use, Logan, and I'm sorry for leaving you hanging. You can take a drink if you like. I know you had to talk a lot right there, but we wanted to make sure we got the call right, and by what I saw, it looked like we did.
Nonetheless, it'll be Wilson with the ball looking to Jackson. 10 on the clock. Taylor with it down low. She draws the double team. Throws it to Ridley. Ridley in the lane, gets that shot to fall to cut the lead to 6 with just under 5 minutes to play.
Well, hopefully that call does not ruffle the feathers of the Foresters and they're able to maintain their composure, as we'll see Courtney Baker coming back in the game in just a bit. Recker underneath now.
And Recker looked like she got tripped on that play. No call. Taylor finds it with it. She gets down to Ridley. Ridley gets it blocked by Recker, and now they're going to say Recker fouled her. So that'll send Ridley to the line to shoot 2 for the 3rd time tonight. And that's only Recker's first foul, but the team's 8th.
Well, maybe the ball never lies, but right now, once again, we're seeing a role reversal as we will see Amelia Eschman come in for the other Amelia Recker, and then Courtney Baker coming in for Allison Trout.
And Ridley able to hit that free throw. And Baker gonna bring it up court for the Foresters.
Foresters almost making the same mistake of getting back on offense too quickly and leaving the ball. And now fancy footwork by the Foresters. Palmer behind the back, inside to Eschman. And an easy 2 by the senior.
Well, that was a great pump fake there from Amelia Eschman. You can't teach that any better to get the defender off their feet and out of the play. Great senior move there from Eschman. Taylor with it. She goes cross court to Wilson. One more pass to Frisch in the corner. That's way off the mark. That was a long flying air ball. That air ball looked like it was going to Japan. Had a lot of air time there. Courtney Baker bringing it up. She'll hand off to Palmer. Palmer with the pump fake. Driving right side. And she has it poked away from behind by Taylor and out of bounds with 13 seconds on the shot clock.
Well, I will have to say one thing that was weird coming back from Japan to America, Logan, and that was I sort of time traveled. I left on Monday and arrived on Monday, even though it was a 10-hour flight. So it was a little bit weird.
Palmer couldn't quite get that to fall, and Hubble with a huge offensive board. And she'll get it back to Baker, who will run some more clock. The clock favors the Foresters to have a 7-point advantage as we near 3 minutes to play. Baker dribbling around, has Jackson on her, gets it to Palmer. Palmer with the ball, 5 seconds on the shot clock. Nearly tripped, taking it in the lane, reverse layup, not there. Bonema with the board, she goes up. And she is fouled. That will send Jacqueline Bonema to the line to shoot 2, and that foul will be on Frisch. That's her first. Oh, looks like they're calling that foul on Ridley. Excuse me, that'll be Ridley's second as Bonema hits that free throw. And we'll see Hester come in for Frisch. Bonema looking to keep the Foresters perfect from the line tonight. And Bonema able to drill both of those to extend the lead to 9 with 2:50 remaining. Foresters have the Cougars on the ropes and looking to pull the upset here at Platt Arena. Hester with the ball, gets it to Taylor, and it's poked away by Baker. Baker gonna slow it up and run some more clock. She's driving in, and a foul call on Jackson. That's going to be the team's 8th. And Courtney Baker will go to the line to shoot the 1-and-1. Both teams in the bonus. So we'll see Jackson exit. In for her will come Reinhardt. Courtney Baker hasn't been to the line too often, only been there 49 times, but shooting 80% from the field, from the line, as she's able to drill that first one. Baker looking to convert on both, and she does. 11-point advantage for the Foresters, and Coach Kohler will take a timeout with 2:29 remaining. And the Foresters doing everything right so far in this ball game. Looking to top this game off and come out of Platt Arena on this Wednesday night with an upset victory over the St. Francis Cougars.
I'm sorry to leave you hanging once again, Logan, but I wanted to make sure I kept the folks at home that aren't able to watch updated. I just tweeted out, upset alert, that the Foresters are leading the Cougars 63-52. You can follow us on Twitter at FDN_sports if you can't ever check out the game. I try to do double duty of tweeting out as well as paying attention to the game and commentating, but it's just a thriller going on right now here inside Platt Arena. Foresters almost with the upset, 2:30 left to play, 63-52. As we've been saying throughout the game, Logan, that tonight, if the Foresters capitalized and got a win, this would be a tremendous earthquake felt in the Crossroads Conference.
Foresters, like we said, in the next few games could really work their way up to that top tier, maybe get themselves in the top 3 of the Crossroads League, and that would be huge when it comes to talking about home court advantage in the Crossroads League.
It will indeed. Home court advantage is almost everything when you have a league this good.
We'll see Wilson in with her 4 fouls, but it's crunch time for the Cougars. How will the defending champs respond? We see Baker nearly coming up with a steal, but instead will get called for a foul, and that is the right call. Got the arm of Reinhardt there on her second effort. So that will send Reinhardt to the line, shoot the 1-and-1. Reinhardt only been to the line 15 times on the season, shooting 66%. So it'll be interesting to see what the lefty does here, as she rattles that one home. She's going to try to hit the second one to cut it to a 3-possession game. And that one's going to drop for her. We'll see Jackson enter their game for Reinhardt. A little offense-defense set from the Cougars.
I don't think the Foresters are used to being on the opposite end, having the other team going to the line. And now we'll see Recker come in for Eschman. Right now, Coach Hiller has to be very careful at how she manages time for her girls.
Hubble and the Foresters able to break the press from the Cougars. And now the ball safely in the hands of Courtney Baker. Baker will get it to Hubble. Hubble driving left side, and a reach call on Hester. That will be the team's 9th foul. And we'll put Kelsey Hubble to the line. Both teams with 9 fouls apiece.
With 2:06 left to play, that is not something you want to do, is commit a silly foul like that.
Hubble also a 77% free throw shooter, and the Foresters shooting the ball 81% as a team from the line. The #1 free throw shooting land in Division II NAIA, and they're looking to show why. And Hubble A rare miss from the free throw line.
A rare miss as they're shooting 54% from the line thus far so far tonight. Oh, excuse me. They shot 100% until then.
And a silly foul there from the Foresters and Kelsey Hubble. Taylor will go to the line to shoot 2. 10th foul on the Foresters puts St. Francis in the double bonus. Taylor, however, only a 61% free throw shooter. As she misses that one.
And that's the Cougars' second miss of the night from the free throw line. That 54% that I said before was from the three-point range for the Foresters. So not too shabby of a three-point shot for the Foresters tonight.
And Taylor with 2 misses from the line. Baker drawing the double team in the backcourt. Just runs right past him.
That's that soccer conditioning, Logan.
Baker breaking down Jackson offensively. Gonna get it to Recker. Recker gets it poked out of bounds by Taylor. 11 seconds on the shot clock now.
With 1:37 left to play, 11 seconds on the shot clock. And we'll see a handful of Cougars come in. I think right now what the Foresters need to do is they just need to be smart with their possession of the ball. 1:37 left to play. They lead by 9. It'd be good to milk the clock out as much as possible with 5 seconds left.
Hubble gets it to Palmer. Palmer step back 3 at the buzzer, and that's going to be an air ball and a shot clock violation from the Foresters with 1:24 remaining.
On normal circumstances, I'd say that a shot clock violation is a bad thing, but when you're in this predicament against this very good Cougar squad, I'd say, well, as I just mentioned, milk the clock out for as much as you can get.
Wilson gets it in the corner. Down low now to Taylor. Taylor to Ridley. She'll drive in and get fouled by Bonema. With 1:07 remaining, a 9-point ball game, Ridley goes to the line to shoot 2.
Bonema now, I believe that's her 4th foul, so she has to be careful now. I wouldn't be surprised if, as that ball rolls around and goes in, but I wouldn't be surprised now if Taylor tries to hit up Bonema playing physical and get Bonema out of the game.
We'll see if Ridley can't get this one to fall. And that one drops. I believe Ridley only missing 1 free throw tonight. We'll see her exit, and for will be Hester. Full court press coming from St. Francis. Foresters get the hands on the ball of Baker. Baker is immediately trapped, and a timeout called by Coach Kohler. Just in time with Baker being trapped in the corner.
A smart use of her 1 of 2 timeouts left, and this will be a full timeout taken by Coach Kohler as her squad leads 63 to 56 with 1:04 remaining.
7-point advantage for the Foresters, 1:04 remaining, as you said, and you got to think St. Francis has to foul now. There's just not enough time left to get 3 possessions. You have to force the misses at the free throw line from the Foresters to get yourself back into this ball game. But if you are St. Francis, scoring offensively has to come from the three-point line now.
Absolutely, Logan. And as you mentioned, the Cougars might want to foul here, but there's a positive and a negative to that. Positive, you have more time on the clock, but a negative is that you're facing number 1 in the nation at the free throw line. So it's kind of a good versus evil when you come to that position. It's a very tough call to make, but if you want to get the ball into a certain Cougars' hands, I mean, I would definitely say put that into either Taylor's hands or put that into the leading scorer of the night, Ridley's hands. I mean, they're the only ones in double digits thus far for the Cougars, so you have to get it into their hands and try from the three-point range. No Cougar has more than 1 3 so far tonight, so if there's a time to really go guns out blazing, it's right now.
Bonema with it. That's who you'd want to foul if you're St. Francis. She gets it back to Hubble. And so Kelsey Hubble will go to the line to shoot too, and Coach Andrews looks livid on the sideline. He wanted them to foul Jacqueline Bonema from the beginning.
Well, I can understand why he's a little bit rivet over there, is because if there's one person you do want to foul, it's down the court. Well, two people, it would be Bonema and Baker.
Hubble missed one at the line already, but able to splash this one through. We'll see substitutions coming from St. Francis. Offense, defensive set from St. Francis. And Hubble able to hit that one. So we'll see Allison Trout enter for Jacqueline Bonema. 1 minute remains. Forsters with a 9-point lead. Wilson bringing it up. She goes cross court to Reinhardt, just makes the catch. Frisch with it. She'll get it to Montgomery. Forsters guarding the perimeter very well. Frisch with it, drives in with the layup in the lane, and that drops with the finger roll. 42 seconds remain now. And the Forsters holding a 7-point advantage as Coach Andrews and St. Francis take a timeout. And Allison, both teams to the bench. And Victor, you gotta like what you've seen so far out of Huntington and how they've been able to put this game away so far, leading by 7 and hitting their free throws here late.
I absolutely have to agree, Logan. And it all started with Miranda Palmer in the first half. In the first half, she had 14 points and Hubble had 9. They've both done a tremendous job thus far here in the second, and that's what your star athletes have to do, is just rise to the occasion, and they have definitely done this against the 7th ranked Cougars in the nation. And then although Recker hasn't really performed well at the basket tonight, it doesn't really come down to how many points you might score, even though that is the goal of the game, is to score more points than your opposition. But sometimes it takes having more rebounds than your opposition, or having more steals, just having more composure inside the pocket, and the Foresters have done a great job of that. 58.
Somehow 2 points got added to St. Francis's score. I believe we have them at 58. I'm not sure how we got to 60.
Well, maybe the New England Patriots hacked the scoreboard.
That's the best way of putting it. New England Patriots must have had something with this. And we're trying to figure out what the score should be. We do have 58 points for St. Francis.
We do indeed, but I say New England Patriots because, I mean, I just love to pick on them because they are my most hated team of all time, and then OSU right behind them, with my Ducks losing to them for a 9th time at the national championship. But yeah, when it's a time like this, 43 seconds left on the clock, it is just definitely a must to have the points correct.
I believe we're going to stick with 65 to 58 after the referee sorting it all out.
What do you think of Deflategate, Logan?
Deflategate, I think it's a bit embarrassing for New England, because I believe New England was clearly the better team.
They were. The Colts admitted it.
I don't think you needed to cheat to win. But the fact that you had a lack in confidence in your players and in the coaching staff to get the job done to do that, I think speaks a lot about your character. As we see Palmer getting fouled, she'll go to the line to shoot a pair with both teams in the double bonus. But I think it's a shame that the Patriots will be able to go to the Super Bowl even after cheating. And like I said, they were clearly the better team. Your number 1 team in the AFC. You shouldn't have to cheat to get yourself to the Super Bowl. And I think it's just going to look bad for them no matter what they do. You had the Spygate with their 3 Super Bowls beforehand, and now it seemed like they'd finally made it here cleanly, and then this comes out.
Well, all I got to say, Logan, is that I'm sure all of the fans that were rooting against the Seahawks last year are definitely rooting for them.
Yes. Everyone just went and bought Russell Wilson's jersey. So we see 2 rare misses from Palmer at the free throw line as she gets her hands in there and almost came away with a steal.
Well, I'm more of a Richard Sherman type of guy, and Miranda Palmer doing a great job of her doing her Richard Sherman impression on the defensive side of the ball.
65-58, still a 7-point advantage for the Foresters. 38 seconds remain. And this game could change drastically with a made shot here from St. Francis to get it down to a 2-possession game.
I would look for them to hit beyond the arc. But if Courtney Baker keeps on doing what she does best, and that is either stealing the ball or forcing the ball out of bounds, that will force the Cougars to lose their momentum.
It'll be Montgomery inbounding from the sideline. Gets it to Ridley. Ridley to Taylor. Taylor pump fake, finds Montgomery for 3. And that falls for Montgomery, and a quick timeout from Andrews. That's his last timeout of this game.
And that's exactly what the Cougars need to get back in this game. Only down by 4 with 25.3 remaining. And the Foresters, they've been in this position before. They just lost against Grace on a last-second layup. So we'll see how the Foresters handle themselves right now. And I think the thing is just to get the ball in the hands of your best free throw shooters, which would be Hubble, Recker, Palmer, and just make your shot. That's what leaders do. That is rise to the occasion and make your shot, and that's exactly what they have to do right now.
Well, I'm glad you brought that up. Get it to Palmer. We saw 2 just rare misses from Palmer from the free throw line. You know, an 88% free throw shooter. I think you'll still be safe getting the ball back to her. I think she will go to the line and knock him out like a true leader does. And also Amelia Recker, who hasn't done much scoring tonight. I still would, put all my eggs in her basket and give her the ball, shooting 90% on the year from the free throw line. I don't care how bad of a day you've had. A free throw shooter can hit free throws any time of the game. So get it to Recker or Palmer, or even if Courtney Baker gets it and tries to break the trap that's more than likely to come from St. Francis, I think the Foresters should be all right. They just have to convert on these free throws and not give up open threes like they just did on the last possession to St. Francis.
Exactly, Logan.
But Baker will be the one to inbound. Baker able to run the baseline. She gets it to Palmer, and Palmer is fouled immediately by Robinson. So Miranda Palmer.
Logan Palmer's the one that the Foresters want the ball to be in the hands of. So we'll see if she can make these 2 shots here, and that would be a great help for the Foresters right now.
Palmer 2 for 4 so far in the game from the line. And that one rattles in for. And we see mass substitutions coming from St. Francis again. And we'll see Allison Trout come in for Bonema and the Foresters.
I like this shift in the lineup, Logan. As Andrews goes small, so does Collar. It's a chest game right now.
And Palmer able to hit that free throw. Reinhardt gets it into Taylor. 20 seconds to go. Taylor gonna drive all the way, go in on Recker, and gets that to fall. No timeouts left for St. Francis. Baker gets the inbound, and she's fouled immediately by Jackson.
If Taylor does that again, which I'm sure she will, the best advice I can give the Foresters is just hold your ground and take the charge. I think that was a little bit too much movement by Recker, letting Taylor get around her. Just maintain your position and take up as much space as possible. We'll see Baker now going to the line.
Baker missing that free throw attempt to keep it at a 4-point ball game. We'll see Bonema coming back in for Recker. 18 seconds remain. 4-point ball game. No timeouts remain for St. Francis. Huntington has 1. Baker able to get that free throw to fall to extend it to 5. Absolutely no threes here for the Foresters. We see Baker hitting that one out of bounds with 14 seconds remaining.
And that's what Baker has got to do, is be her usual dependable self on the defensive side of the ball. Either force that ball out of bounds or get a steal.
Taylor with it out to Reinhardt. She takes a quick 3, rattles around and out. Offensive board going to Reinhardt. Ball on the ground, jump ball, and that is going to keep it with St. Francis with 5 seconds remaining.
That Cougars lost a lot of time off the clock with that mishandle of the ball.
We'll see Recker come in for Trout. Also Montgomery will take a seat. Ridley coming in for her. 5 seconds remain. Jackson looking to inbound to someone, gets it to Ridley. Ridley takes a quick shot. That's not there. Rebound goes to Recker. And that is how this game will end. The Foresters getting a much-needed Crossroads League victory over St. Francis, 68-63.
A much-needed win and an upset for the Foresters tonight here inside Platt Arena, 68-63. Just an overall great performance by the Foresters, whether it be on the defensive side of the ball or hitting their shots. Just, again, a great upset, but you cannot overlook the Cougars. They themselves did a tremendous job as well. It's just that the Foresters were able to find a better rhythm in the first half.
Definitely the Foresters got it together there late, and that's why they are going to come out of here with the big victory over the 7th-ranked St. Francis Cougars. And the Foresters just going to hopefully skyrocket in the standings, beating a tough St. Francis squad and getting themselves back on the right track.
Well, they were ranked within the top 20 before, and I'm sure they will be as well. But it'll all come down to how they fare against a Marion squad that they lost to at the first game of the season, and that will be on Saturday. Right now, we'll take a break here on FDN Sports, the Forester Digital Network. I'm Victor McCarty alongside Logan Hunt, and we'll be right back with final stats as well as an interview with Coach Culler with our sideline reporter, Kelsey Cruz. And we're back here inside Platt Arena as the 20th ranked Lady Foresters upset the 7th ranked Lady Cougars 68-63. Let's take a look at the final stats of the game tonight. A thriller indeed here inside Platt Arena. Field goal percentage about dead even as the Cougars had 44% as opposed to the Foresters 43%, but that did not matter. And free throw percentage, once again, the Cougars beat out the Foresters at their own game. The Foresters are ranked number 1 in the nation at the free throw line, but the kicker was the 53% from three-point range, as well as 34 rebounds, 13 steals, and then helping the Foresters was 17 turnovers. Just not overall a great game by, well, either team on the turnover possession. Foresters had 14 turnovers as well, but one thing that helps a team win a game is possession of the ball. The Foresters did a great job of moving the ball around inside and outside the pocket early in the first, and that's what really drove the game from the beginning. And then 34 rebounds. Even though the Foresters got beat at their own game from the free throw line, it was the Foresters who beat the Cougars at their own game and getting more rebounds, because the Cougars, they are ranked number 4 in defensive rebounds per game. And as we've mentioned throughout the game, Logan, that the Foresters, they were ranked number 1 in free throw percentage in the nation.
Yes, they were, and they proved that tonight. Palmer with a few missed free throws there late, but really came alive when they needed them to hit some crucial free throws to extend the lead to 5 and ultimately end the game for the Foresters, getting this big monumental upset win over St. Francis.
Well, two of the players that drove the momentum for the Foresters were Kelsey Hubble and Miranda Palmer, scoring 22 and 20 points respectively, leading scoring of the game. And then the only 2 Cougar players who got into the double digits were Brooke Ridley at 19 points, leading scoring for her team, and then Ikea Taylor scoring 12 points to boot as well. I mean, it overall wasn't a great game for the Cougars' leading scorers. Taylor, she averages 21.6 points per game, and then again on the rebounds possession, Taylor had only had 6. At any other game that would be a good stat, but it was Amelia Recker and Kelsey Hubble having 7 rebounds, and then Jacqueline Bonema having 8 rebounds to boot. So just an overall great team performance by the Foresters tonight. Right now, I'll hand it over to our sideline reporter, Kelsey Cruz, with head coach Lori Kohler.
Thanks, Victor. First of all, Coach Kohler, congratulations on the huge win against St. Francis. What did your team do this week in order to prepare for this game? What are some things that maybe you did differently?
Well, we obviously knew who their best players were, and they have 2 probably, first-team All-American post players on their team, and we definitely knew that was going to be the challenge, to try to stop them, slow them down a little bit, and then not give up a lot of wide-open three-point looks to their shooters. And so they're a very talented, very deep team, and so we worked really hard on our defensive plan for this game, and I couldn't be more proud of how the girls executed it tonight. They just did a fantastic job.
Absolutely. Now, it's no secret that it was a very upbeat game and it was very physical. What do you think contributed to that from both sides?
Well, I think both teams knew kind of that this game is an important game in this, scheme of things right now. We were coming off of a tough loss at Grace, and we felt like, we're playing 2 ranked teams this week, and we have to do a better job of protecting our home court. And so there was no doubt that they were going to come out and compete hard, and it was just going to be a matter of whether we could stick with our game plan and execute it. And we really did a good job of a lot of the things that we talked about needing to do.
Now, towards the end of the game, the Cougars came back within 2 points. What did you tell your team in the final timeouts to keep their head in the game and maintain that lead?
Well, this team all along has really shown that they can keep their composure when things get tough. And I was actually a little surprised to see us miss some free throws down the stretch, because that's not really been us either. But we hit enough to get the job done. But, you know, we just stick with our game plan, and, you know, we just try to make sure that we're getting stops and the offense would take care of itself. And those were the situations that we got stops when we needed to.
Now your team is going to see Marion again on Saturday. Hopefully, you know, it's going to be a different turnout this time. What are your hopes for this weekend's game?
Well, I hope that they don't shoot the lights out from every position on the floor like they did the last time. I mean, they really played a perfect game. So in some ways, it feels good to know that they pretty much had to play a perfect game to beat us, and we're hoping that they can't do that again. But it will be on their court, and, you know, it will be a tough opponent, and we'll just have to work on putting a game plan together for that game and see if we can learn anything from our last game that will help us.
Absolutely. Coach Kohler, congratulations again.
You.
Back to you, Victor.
Thank you, Kelsey, and thank you and congratulations once again to Coach Lori Kohler. Her squad coming up with the upset tonight against the Lady Cougars of St. Francis. They were ranked 7th in the nation as opposed to the Foresters being ranked 20th. They came out to win 68-63. I'm sure, as I mentioned, Logan, that they will be ranked better than 20 come next week. But a key factor that will play into that is how they fare against Marion.
Definitely, it's going to be about Marion. Marion, definitely a tough squad. We saw them pull out a win here against Forster, where they just looked just completely better than Forster. But this is a new Forster squad. They've put in a lot of new offense and defensive sets, and I think they're ready to take on Marion. It's going to be a tough road game. If they can pull that one out, you best believe they're going to be ranked higher than 20th.
Well, the Foresters have traveled a long road since their first game of the season, which was against Marion. They have learned along the way, and I'm sure they have definitely learned in playing the 7th-ranked Cougars tonight. This game will only aid the Foresters' performance come Saturday. So a great thriller tonight here inside Platt Arena. Once again, the Foresters beating the Cougars 68-63. I'm sure glad to be back here in the States, Logan, and experience sports once more. I missed it in Japan, but for all of my crew, my director, Derek Zerker, our camera guys, and for my partner, Logan Hunt, our sideline reporter, Kelsey Cruz, I am Victor McCarty saying I'm glad to be back in the US of A, and we will see you once more on Saturday as the guys take on Marion.